Hello everyone, this is Uche Philip Emordi from Own a Home TV, and here at ownahome.ng we believe that owning a home doesn't need to make you lose sleep, and so we're committed to giving you the very best property recommendations and also insider and latest industry real estate gist. So thank you for tuning in today. Kindly hit the subscribe button below, like this video. Get ready for what we're going to talk about today. From the title, you might have already guessed that we're going to be talking about developers today, here in Lagos. And developers are just like a very, very special breed. Omonile people, they just have like so much wahala. They can sell you a land several times over and over. This very episode extracting one of those developers in Lagos State. I'll leave you to draw your own conclusions. As we go ahead, you're going to see how this information can help your next investment, and you'll be surprised at the connection. So, who is this developer in question? It's in the public domain. Maybe you have heard it, maybe you haven't heard it, maybe you're hearing it for the very first time. But it's none other than Dr. Ololade V. Abuta, the GMD and CEO of Gracias Group of Companies. And Gracias Global. I think as far as portfolios go, they have the biggest portfolio of all other developers. I mean, you can't even compare Landway. Landway just has one property, their flagship property in Abraham Adesoya, but Gracias has properties in Shango Tedo, they have in Ibeju Lekki, they have literally everywhere. They have Eleko. I'm going to list them out. I'm going to list all their properties for you and all the locations they are. And these are just the ones that are in the market. We're not talking about the ones that have been sold out at various points in time. They do land and houses. And what does that tell you? It tells you that they are buoyant. They are a real estate company or a real estate developer that they are diversified portfolio at different locations. And if you know how difficult it is for real estate and developers to really get these lands, you have to negotiate with the government, you have to negotiate with Omonile. So it's no simple feat that they have achieved. So if you look at Nigeria and you look at the fact that you thrive because of who you know, you start to connect the dots with the fact that, first of all, for you to get titled, proper documentation for your land, it's not easy. It's not really easy for you to get your governor's consent. It's not easy for you to process your C of O. So if you have a company that is really pushing properly titled and properly documented properties in the market, you know that they are connected. There's no two way about it. They are connected, with the government. Our billionaires mostly, when there are issues in the country, they cannot actually come on the record and say things and criticize the government because their tax break. One policy can just wipe out their whole earnings. So in any manner or form, you have to see yourself, if you're going to play at a particular extent, at a particular level, you have to see yourself hobnobbing with the people in power. I digress. So how does all of this connect, and how does that concern you, someone that wants to invest? Gracias Global has the highest number of people, I'm talking about as a realtor, that have reached out to me abroad. Oh, I heard about this. They mostly know the name of the property they're trying to get. Oh, this is Gracias property. Even one has told me that he has already made payment. He wanted to confirm, even though he was not through me, that he was sourcing that property. Or a company that has strong ties with the government means that they will always have updated titles. It means that they are always going to be close to the government in case of the government has interest in a particular place. There was a real estate convention last year around 28th, 29th, that last week of the year, and Gracias had a stand, and in their stand they were also selling their products. And Sanwo-Olu was around in that convention. I mean, he even gave a talk. He came to the Gracias stand. He took pictures. He took videos. And to the best of my knowledge, with all the real estate developers that I work with, I think Gracias was the only one there, and they sold out all of their property that they put in their portfolio. It essentially met all their sales targets for that day and that conference through that week. The governor most likely honored their invitation, or they had to be at a particular level to be invited to that sort of meeting. So if you bought a property from Gracias, last year Gracias had some untitled property that's awaiting excision, and there were seaside estates at Ibeju Lekki, in the thick of Ibeju Lekki. But do you know that I still had the confidence to tell clients about it, because I know that it can either go two ways. But in your contract of sale, you're fully indemnified, and I know that in case of anything, in the worst case scenario that the governor was not going to give excision for that land, as far as it was Gracias that was giving you that property, they would reimburse you, or they would give you other property of similar value. So it matters to you, because you know that. So that connection, that governmental connection, means that for the most part, if this company had maintained a steady relationship with the people at the top, both from the last admin, the current admin, even recently at Idera's scheme, the government was really, really serious about doing some work there. That's where the proposed coastal road is going to run. That's where the proposed coastal city, that's where the proposed airport is going to be. They demolished lots of illegal buildings, and for a while they were just silent, but they eventually sold it to some developers, and a very sizable chunk of the land was sold legally to Gracias. So right now they have a very, very mouth-watering property by the road before Eleko bypass along Lekki-Ekpe Expressway. That is not just what any company gets. That is a choice property, and it's just so massive. It was several acres, several hectares, and you don't just get this because you have money. You don't just get this because you want to. And the connection that you need to have to be able to get this sort of mouth-watering properties. In fact, the community people even wanted to start making trouble, but everything was there. Those clients that bought, they had to tell them, you don't have to worry, because these people, they were illegally here. We have all our documents. You can go to Alausa, you can go to registry, do all your checks. So if you're thinking of buying a property, whether for prospecting or for living, to increase your safety nets, investments are all about hedging and reducing your risk. To reduce your risk and put yourself in the position whereby your investment is less likely to cause you problems in Lagos with a multiplicity of problems, community issues, this government issues. Before you look left, before you look right, I would advise you to go through this developer, and I'm going to be listing some of their properties. So if you have any of these locations that you're interested in, just hit us up, hit me up, and we're going to start you on the journey to secure your property here, whether you're here in Nigeria or you're abroad. So the first is Atlantic View at Shongo Tedo. They have a beach facing property a few meters away from the beach, Shongo Tedo, and the price is going up really, really soon, by June, and it's going now for 9.6 million only, and it has an excision, and you can pay as little as a 30% deposit to get this plot of land, secure it. It has an government approved excision. Like I say, proper land, proper titles. Gracias doesn't do shady titles, they do proper titles. The other landed plots, you can get 350 square meters for 5.6 million, 400 square meters for 6.4 million, 450 square meters for 7.2 million, 550 square meters for 8.8 million, and 600 square meters for 9.6 million. As I said, 3 million naira initial deposits, 6 months payment plan available. So the next one we are going to talk about is Gracias Court 1, Shongo Tedo, and that's going for 9.6 as well. I think it's not very, very far from the Atlantic View, but this one it's not really as close to the beach. So the same price, 9.6 million naira for a 600 square meters plot. We also have at Ibeju Lekki, this is the cheapest land in Ibeju Lekki. This is the cheapest you can get. Okay, because like a few years ago you could get a land in Ibeju Lekki for like 600k, 700k, 800k. But right now, if anybody is selling you any property in Ibeju Lekki that is 1 million or 1.5 million, you better run away, because before you would have done your documentation and everything, Ibeju Lekki land has left the 100,000 naira mark. It has long left there. It has even long left the 1 million naira mark. You can even see properties for as much as 10 million naira and above in Ibeju Lekki. But this is the cheapest I have seen. You can check anywhere. You cannot see this cheap for a very good title. You cannot see this cheap. And so at Ibeju Lekki, you have the Gracias Court 3, and it's going for 3.6 million naira for a 600 square meters plot, and a whopping 2.4 million naira for 400 square meters. Imagine 2.4 million naira, essentially 2.5 million naira, getting you a 400 square meters plot in Ibeju Lekki. Now, this is a deal worth having. This is a deal worth having. And it's a government approved excision, and you need to make at least a 50% deposit. Like I said, proper titles, proper properties, proper venues. Proper title, proper venues. And now I talked about the IDERA scheme. IDERA scheme is just before Eleko. And you need to know something about that place. It's so strategic, apart from the fact that it's close to the proposed airport, it's close to Lakowe, and Dangote refinery, before Amen Estates and all of the other estates. When you go down, Eleko is that place is going to be strategically positioned in that the traffic that is going to be coming from industrialized Ibeju Lekki, these people are able to escape. If you want to travel, you can easily travel. If you want to even go to Ibeju Lekki, if you work there, you can easily move towards that area. So essentially, you're gaining from like both sides of the coin, both the main Lagos. You have proximity to the main Lagos. You benefit greatly from the industrialization of having the largest refinery in West Africa, if not the whole world. And your property just keeps going up, even if you don't want to necessarily live there. So Gracias Morganite Estate at Eleko, 500 square meters, 11 million naira. 450 square meters, 9.9 million naira. 400 square meters, 8.8 million naira. 350 square meters, 7.7 million naira. And let me just give you a price comparison. Amen Estates, a little ways from this estate, Morganite Estate, and you drive down to Amen Estate 2, and it's starting from 17 million naira. Deeper inside, you have more expensive estate, but this one that is by the road, 11 million naira for the biggest plot, which is 500 square meters. So it's a good deal. Go for it. Then we also have Goldstone Extension, and this is by Monastery Road, still at Shongo Tedo. They actually had the first phase that has sold out. Now they are selling the extension, and they are selling 400 square meters only, and they have 3 months and 6 months payment plan, and it's going for 15 million naira. 15 million naira. And Langway had a property there, which was the Westwood Estate. Years ago, when the Westwood Estate sold out, it was selling out. The last price of the Westwood Estate before it left the market was 20 million naira. So 400 square meters for 15 million naira is a giveaway for you, because very many years ago, that was actually the price for the 400 square meters. So you're still maintaining that price till now. As Shongo Tedo as well, this one, they are housing units, Peridot, opposite Skyview Mall. You have housing units, 2-bedroom BQ for 19.9 million, essentially 20 million naira. From 20 million naira, you can get a BQ, a 2-bedroom flat with a BQ. For 22.9 million naira, you can get a 3-bedroom flat with a BQ. And for 32.9 million naira, you can get a 3-bedroom maisonette with a BQ. And the maxi of it is 34.9 million naira. And this is really important for you to know, because they tout this as Ikoyi living in Shongo Tedo. So they are taking out the whole stress of paying for it, building your own property, and then synergizing all of the moving parts. They are going to do it for you. They build your house for you. They deliver it in 1-2 years. You hedge your investment at the time of payment. You don't have to be worrying when prices of building materials increase. No thanks to Dangote and the cement prices. So finally, this is the last Gracias property that I'm going to be talking about today. It's at Lekki Scheme 2. And Lekki Scheme 2, you know how Lekki Scheme 2 is government allocated C of O, and it has proximity to Artican Beach, Barracuda Beach, all of the other beaches there, and it's really like it started the Lekki Scheme 2. You know what Lekki Phase 1 is, and you know what Lekki Phase 1 was and has become now, and it's very wonderful investment. Yet another beach facing. It's very close to the beach, so it's something that you can regularly be going on retreats. You can regularly be going on a getaway resort with you and your family, your loved ones, and all that. And they are selling the land, and the land is going for 21 million naira only for 400 square meters. So thank you for tuning in today. Kindly hit the subscribe button below, like this video.